हेलो एवरीवन। हेलो। आई होप आप लोग अच्छे हो, क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो एंड लर्न कर रहे हो। दिस क्वेश्चन आई रिसीव फ्रॉम पार्थ एंड दिस इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल क्वेश्चन आई से for understanding several concepts. There is little of electrostatics here and more of mechanics, that too of the topic rotation. So that we will get to one by one, but सबसे पहले हम क्वेश्चन को समझते हैं। क्वेश्चन ये कह रहा है हमारे पास एक रिंग है which has a mass m and it has a radius r. There is a gap in the ring, you can see here, and then along the length of gap along this length there is electric field switched on, uniform electric field in this region, and because of that field getting turned on, it is getting asked what will be the maximum angular speed of the ring. Okay, and this gap is very small. Here it is said length of gap is far less than that of radius of the ring, so this is very small. So first, when I looked at this question, I was of the view that omega should be 0. And here it is asked about maximum angular speed. I was really confused. But I mean, in the answer, it is not given 0. It is giving something else. But with the information given in the question, answer should be omega equal to 0. It should not be anything positive. So first, I will let you know why omega should be equal to 0 in this particular question. And the answer that is given is based on what thing basically. So what is basically missing in the question? If we put that missing thing, answer will be same as that is given in your booklet. ठीक है, so let's first go to why omega will be 0. So देखो omega 0 आपको भी clearly दिख रहा होगा. अगर नहीं दिख रहा है तो मुझे बेसिक से जाना पड़ेगा. So first question I would say that I want you people to answer is that if there is a body and which is free to move in the space, I mean it is not hinged, it is not at any point fixed to any support or something. It is free to move in this space. And then you are applying certain force on this body. And that force, if has a tendency to rotate the body, then this body will rotate around which axis, and that axis will pass through which point of the body. This is a question, right? Basic question ये है कि rotation axis will pass through which point. Done है? So क्या लगता है? उसके लिए मैं सबसे पहले एक और एग्जांपल ले लूं. लेट्स से वी हैव 8 kg ऑफ बॉडी एंड देन वी हैव दिस 8 kg ज्यादा हो गया, 2 kg ऑफ बॉडी एंड देन वी हैव हाफ kg ऑफ बॉडी. ठीक है, सो वी वांट टू ट्रांसलेट दिस बॉडीज एंड वी आर अप्लाइंग इक्वल फोर्सेस. व्हिच विल मूव फर्स्ट? दिस वन. ठीक है, दिस विल मूव इजीली बिकॉज इट हैज लेस inertia which is the measure of mass. It has less mass, it will resist less, and it will move easily against that force getting applied. Similarly, if you have to rotate the body, then we need to talk about rotational inertia that gets measured by moment of inertia. So if certain external torque is acting on this body, then that torque will easily rotate, I mean that torque will be uh, able to rotate this body around an axis around which moment of inertia will be minimum. And by symmetry and geometry, moment of inertia of body around its center of around an axis passing through center of mass will be the minimum. ठीक है, so इसीलिए when we solve question of rotation and when the body is free to move, we calculate torque around its center of mass and then we write it as I alpha. Why we do this? Because I mean, if moment of inertia are, I mean moment of inertia around an axis passing through center of mass will be minimum, so it will be the easiest to rotate body around this axis. So body will rotate first around that axis. Done it? Unless and until you are not making it constrained to move around any other axis and any other axis passing through any other point, right? Naturally अगर आपने लीव कर दिया है ना, then it will naturally rotate around an axis passing through its center of mass. First thing. And second thing कि अगर आपने body को uniform field में रख दिया and line of action of that force overall aggregate, if that is passing through center of mass, then that force will have no torque around that center of mass axis. ठीक है, and in that case tau cm will become 0, and if it is becoming 0, omega will not come into question. ठीक है, same thing will happen here. Again I will go into more explanation. जैसे आप खुद सोच लो, I mean there is a body, ठीक है, and it is kept in gravitational field. So gravitational field for body of this size will be uniform, right? क्योंकि ये बॉडी काफी जायंट नहीं है कि ग्रेविटेशनल फील्ड इज चेंजिंग अलोंग इट्स dimensions, right? So it will remain almost constant. Whatever gravitational field is here will be gravitational field here, will be gravitational field here. So if you take a small elements of mass dm, at each dm mass, force acting will be same, dmg. Here also dmg, dmg, like that. So if I mean हर पॉइंट पे फोर्स को ड्रॉ करने से बेहतर है वी टॉक अबाउट सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी, जिसको आपने पढ़ा होगा. सो वी टॉक अबाउट सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी. वी टॉक अबाउट टेकिंग अ पॉइंट along which aggregate force of gravity will act. So हमें हर पॉइंट पे फोर्स को ड्रॉ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. We simply need to replace all these points by that single point, and along that point or passing through that point we will apply the aggregate gravitational force, and that is mg. ठीक है. So mg, most often we center of gravity and center of mass coincide, and it will coincide to the long gravitational field is uniform, right? If it is uniform it will coincide. Done it? So if the field is uniform, in that case center of if here gravitational field is uniform, then center of gravity and center of mass will coincide, and hence this mg force will apply no torque on the body. इसीलिए भी when you are throwing a stone down, it will come down translating, it won't rotate in the way. ठीक है, ये सिंपली ऐसे ट्रांसलेट करके नीचे की तरफ आ जाता है, बिकॉज mg का जो लाइन ऑफ एक्शन है दैट इज पासिंग थ्रू सेंटर ऑफ मास. डन है. सो देयर इज टाउ cm इज 0, सो इट वोंट रोटेट. सिंपल. ठीक है. एंड यहाँ पे अगर आप थोड़ा सा देखो ध्यान से, देन charge is distributed along the same line along which mass is distributed. So mass की वजह से center of mass, suppose कर लो यहाँ पे gap नहीं है. In that case, center of mass of this body will be at the geometrical center, and center around which or point along which the net force because of this electrical field will act will be also along this line. क्योंकि देखो चार्ज भी सेम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है जिस तरह से मास डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है इस लेंथ के अलोंग, दैट इज ऑल्सो यूनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. सो फोर्स एक्टिंग एट ईच पॉइंट विल बी लाइक दिस, and rather than drawing such forces at infinite points lying on the ring, it is better to devise a point to get a point uh, through which this aggregate force will act. So that point will coincide with center of mass. क्योंकि mass का distribution and charge का distribution thing is quite same. So their center thing is going to be the same. Done है. In that case, both will pass through the center, and you will say that ring will only translate, it will not rotate. But आप बोलोगे मैम यहाँ पे तो गैप है. ठीक है, लेकिन चार्ज का भी तो गैप है ना. आप सोचो, मास का गैप है. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस गैप सेंटर ऑफ मास ऑफ दिस रिंग विल गेट शिफ्टेड. लेट्स से इतना शिफ्टिंग नहीं होगा बिकॉज दिस गैप इज वेरी लिटिल. दिस शिफ्टिंग विल बी अ बिट स्मॉलर, वेरी स्मॉलर. बट तुम लोगों को ध्यान से ये दिख पाए इसलिए मैंने इसको एग्जैजरेट किया है सो दैट यू कैन सी इट. ठीक है. सो it will get shifted like this, and also the center through which net electrical force is acting, that point will also get shifted by the same distance towards this in this direction. Why? Because यहाँ से तुमने जितना मास हटाया along, जितने लेंथ को हटाया इतने लेंथ पे मास था, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सेंटर ऑफ मास गॉट शिफ्टेड, एंड द सेम लेंथ on this same length charge is also distributed. So charge को भी आपने, charge के लिए भी same gap you have removed, so that center will also get shifted by the same distance. ठीक है. I hope you are able to make sense of it. So वो point भी यहीं पे shift कर जाएगा, and in that case center of mass and center of center through which net force will act, net electrostatic force will act, will be the same, and here tau cm will be equal to 0. So no torque and no rotation. ठीक है. So मेरे अकॉर्डिंग ये क्वेश्चन कुछ ऐसा होना चाहिए कि देर इज अ रिंग. ठीक है. एंड यू आर रिमूविंग, यहाँ पे ऐसा है, ये गैप से आपने मास को नहीं हटाया. गैप only gap is there for the charge, not for the mass. So ये कुछ ऐसा ही रहना चाहिए, only in this region there is no charge present. ठीक है, सो सिर्फ चार्ज को आपने हटाया है, मास को नहीं हटाया, ठीक है। सो इफ यू आर नॉट रिमूविंग मास, center of mass will remain this one, and if you are removing the charge, center through which net electric force will act will get shifted like this, and in this case you will be getting torque, ठीक है। I hope now you are able to make sense of it. So now let's talk about calculating tau cm, ठीक है। So now tau cm will act. Now let's talk about it. So अगर आप इसकी बात करो तो देखो यहाँ पे क्या होगा, let's talk about like this. ये complete इस पे चार्ज था, ठीक है। So if there is a charge gap over here, you can say same amount of negative charges here. So I mean gap length was how much, L, and total charge on the ring is how much, Q. So Q charge was distributed on, let's say, 2 pi r length, done hai. So this is equal to lambda, and then how much charge is getting removed, lambda Q was removed, or in other way you can say here minus lambda Q charge was added, क्योंकि अगर आपने इतना चार्ज अगर यहाँ पे, सॉरी माइनस लैम्डा एल बोलोगे आप, क्यों नहीं, लैम्डा एल, ठीक है। सो लैम्डा इंटू एल अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज इज गेटिंग रिमूव फ्रॉम दिस पोर्शन, डन है। इट मीन्स इट हैज नो चार्ज। इसको अदर वे में आप ये भी कह सकते हो कि हियर यू आर एडिंग माइनस लैम्डा एल अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज, सो प्लस लैम्डा एल माइनस लैम्डा एल गेटिंग एडेड अप विल बिकम व्हाट, जीरो, ठीक है। सो इट इज लाइक दिस. In this case you will say that I mean what I'm taking that still there is no gap of the charge, so net force will pass through what, net force will pass through center of mass of the ring, ठीक है, net electrical force, and since you are introducing gap here there will be extra negative charge, that is minus lambda L, and because of that force will act in which direction, in this direction, ठीक है, because this is a negative charge, and on negative charge force acts in which direction, opposite to the direction of electric field. So gap के length के along था electric field in upward direction, so force on it will be in the downward direction. We can replace it like this, है ना। मैंने क्या किया, मैंने सिंपल किया कि चलो कोई गैप नहीं है तब फोर्स ऐसे जाएगा, ठीक है, ऑन होल रिंग, एंड टू मेक द गैप यू नीड टू ब्रिंग हियर माइनस लैम्डा एल अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट कि इस पूरे पे चार्ज है क्यू, देर इज नो गैप, एंड देन हियर देर इज एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज ऑफ माइनस लैम्डा एल, दैट इज सेम एज सेइंग दैट देर इज अ गैप ऑफ लेंथ एल ओवर दिस सेक्शन, ठीक है, दोनों सेम चीजें हैं. सो हियर वी आर टॉकिंग लाइक दिस. अब देखो, इफ यू कैलकुलेट टाउ सी एम, then what you will see here, torque will be only because of this force, because this force is passing through the center of mass. इसलिए भी मैंने इस तरह से इसको सॉल्व किया, क्योंकि अगर अगर हमने यहाँ पे लाइन ऑफ वो सेंटर पॉइंट जिसके थ्रू फोर्स पास कर रहा है, अगर हमने उसको ऐसे शिफ्ट करके लिखा तो कैलकुलेशन में काफी ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेशन होगा. सो लेट अस गो दिस सिंपल वे, ठीक है. अब देखो टाउ सी एम आप निकाल लो, व्हाट विल बी द फोर्स वैल्यू. सो यहाँ पे आर क्रॉस एफ you will be writing. So this will be equal to how much, radius of the ring, that is r, into f, that is equal to how much, f को आप क्या लिखोगे, चार्ज q into e, charge is how much, lambda l into e. So this is the value of torque acting, done है. And how this torque will change as the rotation will occur. So आप ध्यान से देखना, जैसे इसको आपने थोड़ा रोटेट किया, सपोज करो ये जो माइनस लैम्डा एल का चार्ज है वो सपोज करो यहाँ आ गया. In that case again force acting is in this direction and torque will be this. So torque is decreasing, right? Because this angle from 90 is getting smaller. And let's say at certain instant this gap is over here, that is minus lambda L charge is here. So in that case force acting is in this sense. And now if you calculate torque around center of mass, then it will be what, it will be in the opposite direction. Check, initially it was in clockwise direction, now it is anti-clockwise direction. So up to this point, जब तक ये गैप यहाँ से ट्रैवल करके यहाँ तक आया है, it will move in the clockwise sense. Afterwards it will start moving in the anti-clockwise sense, and so on. It will keep on changing. So it will keep on accelerating and deaccelerating angularly, right? So omega initially will keep on increasing until this point. After that it will decrease. Done it? So if you have to calculate what maximum omega, what you need to do at any general point, you calculate the torque. So at any general point, torque will be equal to R lambda Le, and then this is your sine theta. Okay? This is going to be the torque. And this torque will be equal to how much? I into alpha. So this is equal to R lambda Le sine theta. And alpha can be written as what? This is your I, and I mean this is just like acceleration. Acceleration को हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं? We can write it like v dv by ds. We have written like this, है ना? उसी तरह से अल्फा को we can write omega d omega by d theta. So you write it like this: I omega d omega by d theta, and this is equal to r lambda le and sin theta. ठीक है? सो आप एक काम करो, आई को बाहर ले लो, दिस इज अ कांस्टेंट, राइट? omega d omega ka integration, and here whatever is common, whatever is constant, take it out. So r lambda le, and this is how much? Sine theta d theta. Theta will vary from where to where, so theta ko aap vary kar lo. I mean here it is 90, so 90 से 0 पे चले जाओ. ठीक है? So it is like this. Now if you calculate it, how much value you are going to get? So I omega square by 2, omega will vary from 0 to omega, so this is this, equal to, what is this one? R lambda le. So R lambda le, and sine theta d theta, that will become how much? Minus cos theta. So minus cos theta, and this will be how much? 90 to 0. So this will become how much? Cos 0, that is 1 minus cos 90. So that will be, I mean, this will be minus 1. So I omega square by 2 is equal to R lambda Le into modulus. If you take, this is 1, nothing but 1, right? So if you calculate omega square ka value, this is going to be how much? चलो अभी यहाँ पे I को आप लिख लो. I is how much? mr square, because this is ring, right? So mr square and divided by 2 r into lambda को आप क्या लिखोगे? चार्ज पर यूनिट लेंथ, so q by 2 pi r. ठीक है? डन है. एंड देन देर इज दिस l, and then there is this e. So एक काम करो, r cancel, 2 will get cancelled, and this will become how much? Omega का square, this is equal to QLE divided by M pi R square, right? If I'm not wrong, yes, it looks like this. Okay? So omega value we can calculate from here. So this way you were required to solve this thing. I hope it is clear, and I hope you are able to make sense of it. Done it? But if you have doubt anywhere, you can always let me know in the comment section. Thank you. And you can also let me know if I missed on something, some explanation that you can ask for in the comment section also. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. And keep on solving more number of questions.